So in this battle, I'm doing the in-game challenge to do 1,000 damage to your opposing Pokemon with your fighting type Pokemon. And so I'm using the Groudon deck because I have a couple of fighting type decks, and I think this one's my favorite one. So my hand's not great. So I have the Groudon, which is good. And I have some energy cards in my hand, so like I could put the one on Groudon, and then if I have two more in my hand at that time, I can use Drought to put two energy cards on one of my fighting type Pokemon. But the downside of my hand is I have two Garchomps, which means I can't use either of them right now because I don't have the Gibble or the Gabites. So like now's a good time if I had the trainer card to like shuffle my hand into my deck and then draw 6 cards. The other thing that kind of stinks is this Lily card. I really am not a fan of it. I mean, I'm using it now because if I used the How, I'd have too many cards in my hand. I basically wouldn't be able to use the Lily. And also, because it's my first turn, I draw up to 8 instead of the normal 6. But in general, I don't like the Lily cards. So I used Drought. I was able to set up on my Groudon. So I'm basically going to one-shot whatever Pokemon's out on my turn. But the way Trembling Ground works is it does 130 damage, but then I can't use it again on my next turn. I can, however, use it if I'm able to switch out and switch back. But because Groudon has a retreat cost of 3, I basically need a switch card, where I use the switch card on Groudon, and then let's say I have a Pokemon with a retreat cost of 1, I would then use my energy card for that turn on that Pokemon and then retreat. Because you can't retreat twice in the same turn, but you can retreat and switch. So it's like switch out the Groudon, put an energy card, retreat back to Groudon, and because the Groudon went to the bench and back, it takes out the Trembling Ground side effect of not being able to use it again. So yeah, that Cynthia card was what I was talking about. So I don't remember, do I use it this turn? It would be a good time. Yeah, I did use it. Yeah, because those two Groudons, like, not Groudons, why am I thinking of the word? Those two Pokemon that I can't use now, and I can't remember the name for a moment. Yeah, I just couldn't use them, and so they're going to sit in my hand for the rest of the game, hoping I find the Gibble and Gabite. This situation is much better that I have the Gibble and Gabite, and now I'm waiting to try to get the third evolution. So here I'm surprised he put the energy on Frufro. I would think that he would want to set up his Pokemon on his bench first and just let this Frufro die. Yeah, especially like that Psychic type Pokemon that he has. Does 80 damage with 3 energy cards. So you would think he would want to, like, let me think. If I knock out one of his Pokemon with Groudon, and then he brings it out and hits me with 80, and then I can't attack that turn, and then he hits me with 80 again, he would knock out my Groudon. So I think it would have made more sense to use a regular fighting energy card and then use Lily and use the draw energy next turn, but I didn't think that hard. I used the draw energy and then I used the Lily to draw just one card, which is fine. This Palpitoad is a good card. So this thing is weak to fighting. And so if I do bring this Palpitoad out, I'll do 120 to it. Yeah, I retreat. Yeah, I think my idea here is that I really want to rush him down and not let him set up. Most of the cards in his deck are weak to fighting. I think all the normal and electric type cards are weak to fighting in his deck. And so I'm going to do double damage with like every hit that I do. And so, that being said, the Groudon doing 130 actually isn't that important because he's doing 260. Like, I don't think there's any cards in his deck that have, like the only card that needs to do more than 130 damage to knock it out is the Ampharos. yeah, this Palpitoad being able to do essentially 120 damage per turn with one energy card is going to be able to one-shot a lot of things. Yeah, so if I get the Garchomp, I believe Garchomp regularly can just do 80 damage with 2 energy cards, and so that will one-shot everything except for that Psychic type Pokemon. Yep, so I'd throw the ground on my bench because... Yeah, so I think I put the 1 energy card on that Groudon so that later on, if I need to, I can come out and do Drought. Likely to not likely to set himself up, but to set up one of my bench Pokemon, maybe the other Groudon. Yeah, so he brings out Flaffy, so hopefully he has the Ampharos, because otherwise I'm going to one-shot this Flaffy that has 2 energy cards on it, and that's not good for him. So he uses the Rescue Stretcher, so he's going to grab a card from his discard pile. Oh no, so he's using the other... So there's 2 abilities on that. Either you can grab a Pokemon from your discard pile and put it in your hand, or you can grab 3 Pokemon cards from your discard pile and shuffle them into your deck. It was weird that he did that, and then Copycat, because you would think, like, you wouldn't want to add more Pokemon to your deck before you use the Copycat. It lessens the chance of you getting that Ampharos, which he clearly doesn't have. He just used the Zebstrika ability to discard your hand and draw 4 cards. And he gave up. Yeah, I think he was banking on getting that Ampharos. And I think if he hadn't used the Rescue Stretcher, it would have increased his chances of getting it.